You hear that? That's the awkward silence of a family dinner after you just got caught vaping. Most vapes contain high levels of nicotine and disappointment. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new. You could do a classic herb-roasted turkey or spice it up and make turkey tacos. Serve up a go-to shrimp cocktail or use Simple Truth wild-caught shrimp for your first Cajun risotto. Make creamy mac and cheese or a spinach artichoke fondue from our selection of Murray's cheese. No matter how you shop, Kroger has all the freshest ingredients to embrace all your holiday traditions. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on how I believe that video games have lost their touch. You know, like, I've been playing video games for a good majority of my life. When I sit down and I think about it, you know, video games have always had an impact on my life. You know, I can think back on when I very first started playing video games, you know, like Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2. I'm saying, like, those, like, were my, like, two first starter consoles, you know, and then just having a gang of games on them. And I'm saying, like, with a PlayStation 2, it was like, bro, I had, like, an arsenal of video games. Like, I think I remember the most I've ever had when it came to PlayStation 2 video games was, it was 100 and, man, I'm trying to think, it was like 100 and something, but anyways, it was a lot, you know, and I know people will probably be thinking, like, along the lines, you know, well, to gaming today, it's like you got, like, so many digital games that you can play, because, no, and a part of that is true, you know, don't get me wrong, a part of that is true, but the thing is this, when a lot of those games, right, are constantly getting updated, are constantly getting, you know, like, just overall, it doesn't hit like how the games used to hit back in the day. I really don't even know if I can consider those games video games, because, bro, when I think of games back then and when I think of games now, there's a complete difference. And it's crazy that, like, there's some companies that try to make video games from, like, back then, or they, you know, like, try to either redo them or come out with a newer version of it, whichever the situation is. But when I see, like, how some companies fail at that stuff, and then there's some companies that actually, you know, they do those things, and then people don't like it, and it trips me out, because I'm like, fam, I see so many times where people are complaining about games like Call of Duty, where I see people complain about games like Apex, when I see people complain about, like, just any game that comes out in this day and age. The thing is this: games today have good selling points, but that doesn't mean that it's overall going to be a good game. All right, that's one thing that I feel like that I've learned a lot from the gaming industry right now. Back then, it was like, and I think another part of it, what it has to do is that it's coming from me. Like, I'm buying these games. So yeah, it's like, I wish I was spending, like, you know, $20 to like $50 for a video game. Yeah, that was like back in the PlayStation 2 days. And that's what trips me out, is that you'd see how games were back then, and they were fully built, put together games, right? And they charged like $20 to $50 for it. It was either going to be $19.99 or $49.99. Sometimes you might catch a game in the middle and stuff, but yeah, overall, I was like, that was surprising. When you look at games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that game had one time. That's the one thing that I've always said about video games. That game got, back in the PlayStation 2 days, Nintendo 64, just pretty much everything before, like, the update in the video game time, you know? But any game before that, you had one time to release that game. If you messed up, if that game had a bug, if that game had a glitch, that game wasn't going to sell. Okay, that game was not going to do well at all. Yeah, they was gonna make money from it, but that's the thing where it was like, okay, well, this game was glitchy, it's buggy, I can't get my money back. I wonder how it was like refund policies back then. I feel like refund policies, like, now they're like, oh yeah, you got a week. Or if like, or no, so that's the funny thing that you'll see with video games today, right? So if it's a video game that you gotta pay for, so they'll have it where it's like, oh, okay, so this is what like the refund policy is for video games nowadays. Nowadays, you got 2 hours to play the game, you got 2 weeks to keep the game, all right? If you like play it occasionally within those 2 weeks, you better make a decision. But after them 2 weeks, that game is yours. And then also with the 2 hour mark, yeah, you got like 2 hours to play that game. After that 2 hours, then you're gonna realize whether or not you like that game, all right? And no, the reason why I say that is because there's been a lot of times, right, where they will release a game early. I end up buying it. I play it within the I play it after the 2 weeks. I play it after the 2 hours. Then I really get to see it and how that game is operating after those 2 weeks and after those 2 hours. For an example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I bought that game, right? A week, or I think it was like 2 weeks, because they did like some early access thing, so they released the game a little bit early. Played the campaign, got through that, no problems, no issues. Campaign was all right. I might struggle a little bit on some missions, but that's usually what costs you like what you end up having to pay and stuff when you end up like getting one of those types of games and things. It was a little bit of a challenging game, all right. But then after it was like fully released to the public, then that's when I started realizing that no, something ain't right with this game. I'm like, no, I don't like. Game was buggy. Game was glitchy. Okay, the game would crash at random times. So you'll be like, no. So there's the co-op missions that they have on there, right? I'm playing the co-op mission. Out of nowhere, okay, I get all the way to the end of the mission. Like, it's the mission where you gotta like drive the Jeep or whatever. You gotta drive the car into the back of the plane, right? I'm doing that mission. Tell me why. Okay, explain to me, please. Somebody explain to me. How does a game crash right when you're about to complete the mission? I was heated over that. Then I think everybody knows like how what was going on when the game, it wasn't even wanting to start up at one point in time, and I ended up having to install Steam and Battle.net along with every other game that I had installed on Steam and Battle.net, and I had to reinstall Steam and Battle.net, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and every other game. And then eventually the game started working. And I'm thinking to myself, there was nothing wrong with that game before. Why am I having that issue now? And there was a bunch of other people that was having that same exact issue. And I'm confused by that, because I'm all like, bruh, if a game back then was doing that, that meant it was either one of two things. The game is the disc that you got, it's scratched up, broken, and that's why the game won't work. Or the developers, they just wasn't finished with that game. And that's the thing, it was so unheard of to even hear of some stuff like that, of a developer being unfinished with a game. Back in the PlayStation 2 era, bro, anybody that was too young to enjoy that era, because I know there might have been some kids that was like born, yeah, I know, it was a friend of mine, he was born in 2005. Friend through a mutual person and stuff. But anyways, yeah, he was born in 2005, so somebody like him, 2007, I think that's when I had got my PlayStation 3. So yeah, he didn't even get a chance to enjoy like the PlayStation 2 era and stuff. He came in during like the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. And no, it was like, and even then, like during that era of video games, it was still unheard of to have it where a game came out and it wasn't fully put together and stuff. So, and then it was like, that's like, because the thing is this, I feel like the reason why, when you seen that price change from video games, like from like the PlayStation 2, Xbox era to the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 era, the reason why you seen that price change is because games were like growing, they were getting bigger, like games, they were putting a little bit more detailing in these video games. Like when I think of like the games I was playing back in the PlayStation 2 and during that era and stuff, and then when I got my Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, I'm saying playing games like Red Dead Redemption, Destiny when that game very first came out, Call of Duty Black Ops and stuff. Like I'm playing these games, right? and Grand Theft Auto 4, and I'm like, bro, these games are insane. I can see why that they're $60. I understand why now. Then what's crazy is that the Xbox Ones and the PlayStation 4s come out, and then yeah, they changed up the visuals of games. They made it where games overall had looked better. Now I get that, okay, I understand that, but why did it come with games having to have updates every single day, updates every single week, updates every single month, year? I'm saying, like, there was, when I got my, because I got my Xbox One, and when I got it, I was like, bro, this is amazing. Like, I'm playing games. I was like, games didn't really look that much different, but I'm like, I'm happy at the fact that I have the next gen consoles, because to me, that was a pretty big thing. That was a pretty big move, because it wasn't having the next gen consoles, like the hype that it had, like when the Xbox Ones and the PlayStation 4s was coming out. There wasn't really a whole lot of hype with the PlayStation. The PlayStation 3s, I think, because the PlayStation 2 was a mad success. So I think, yeah, people were a little bit hyped over the PlayStation 3. And then with the Xbox 360, it was like the hype, it kind of like, it kind of like flowed with, just the gaming world, I guess. But it wasn't like this like big worldwide, like, oh, everybody's talking on it, everybody's, going crazy over it and stuff. Like, not that I remember. I don't remember a whole lot of hype with that stuff. So anyways, but when it was like the hype with the PlayStation 4s and the Xbox Ones, it made me think that like gaming was forever going to change. And I feel like it got worse. And it didn't really hit me until I had got my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox Series X. And that's when I realized these developers don't care no more. They really don't. That's why you see where some developers, they go back and they remaster a video game, or they overall stop just coming out with video. Well, no, the thing is this, in this day and age, companies realize like how much money that they can make, so they come out with some battle pass crap, right? Instead of DLCs and having it where I just earn everything the more I play the game, they want to come out with battle passes. So now we're out here paying for these battle passes left and right, rather than just enjoying myself playing the game. And then it's like I'm spending all of this unnecessary amounts of money, because I felt like the reason why that was, like the amount of money that goes into video games is because of these sport games. When you look at video games, like video games like FIFA, 2K, Madden, and you just see how much, like, more so with the Ultimate Team factor, right? Now, they took that formula. Of how much money can we really make from these games. So they took that formula. It's like, okay, forget gameplay. We're worried about the money. All right. That's all that we care about. Oh, they want to do this to their character. It's going to cost them. Oh, they want to add this guy to their team. It's going to cost them. Rather than just having it where I play the game. Now, imagine if FIFA was like, oh, if you want to get Ronaldo or Messi or any other, famous soccer player, right? You got to play the game. You got to go through like the Ultimate Team career mode. You got to beat all these different teams. You actually got to sit down and build a skill to this game. But I feel like nowadays it's like skills ain't even really like, yeah, if there's people that sit down out of their way to just go and play a game, then that's, yeah, okay, that's what people are overall doing and stuff. And I see that. I've done it myself. But the thing is this, it doesn't even seem like that it's mainly based off of skills now. It seems like that, especially with like games like Call of Duty and stuff. Yeah, there's people out there. I see it more so where it's like streamers that really be going at it with the game. But it's like, I really don't know if like the general public, the people that are not content creators, whether they're sitting down and playing the game. But it just really comes off as like, that's who I mainly be seeing playing the game is content creators. Because my thing is this. The mindset that I have right now, where I'm like, I don't even want to play video games anymore. That's where I'm at when it comes to video games. I don't want to play nothing anymore, because video games have lost their touch. Video games don't hit like how they used to. And the fact that I gotta go back and play old games just so I can remotely feel fun rather than the developer. My thing is this. Look, I'm not trying to come off as somebody where, I'm forcing a developer to make good games. But at the same time, if you want to stay in business, fam, you have to make good games. Not a game that's going to steal all my money out my wallet or, off of out of my wallet and stuff. No, I'm saying come out with a game where people can sit down and play it nonstop and have fun with it. I feel like the one game, and it's been making me a little upset because there's a match that I'm keep losing on and stuff, and I'm not trying to lose on that match. But other than that match, bro, this game, I would have to say, is probably one of the funnest games that I have played in recent times. I have to say the only reason why I'm mad at it right now is because I'm messing up on this match and things. But AEW Fight Forever, that game brought me back. It brought me back to when I'm sitting down, I'm playing the game. It ain't got nothing to do with no battle passes. It ain't got nothing to do with no ultimate teams. It ain't got nothing to do with any of that stuff. I'm just sitting down and playing a game. They're not trying to make people look ultra realistic. That is one of the most unrealistic games that I have played in recent times. And guess what? It's perfect. It is amazing. And the crazy thing about it, I don't know if that game, I have my Xbox on right now, so the game might have updated. I don't know, but I'm saying that game doesn't have very limited updates. So it really showed that THQ, the developers behind AEW Fight Forever, really focused on this game. They really wanted this game to be good. And that's why I had to say shout out to THQ, because you actually listen to the fans. I feel like these developers nowadays, they don't be listening to the fans. They don't care what any of these fans have to say about video games, because all that they care about is that we want to make money, and we know our fans have it. It didn't matter when it was during the pandemic. It didn't matter now. It didn't matter before. Companies, all that they care about is making money from the fans. They don't care about no gameplay. They don't care about making things different. They don't care about what else, just whatever it is that y'all can think of. They don't care about that. All they care about is how much money can we make. All right, yeah, they might change up some things here and there, but other than that, it's bro, they don't care about the fans. All right, that's something where I will argue that. I will fight with that statement. Developers don't care about the fans. You're probably hearing fireworks in the background because I am recording this on the 4th of July. So, but anyways, yeah, hopefully, more developers, they look at what THQ did with AEW Fight Forever, and they're like, well, you know what? Maybe let's maybe work on a game where it is for the fans, and it's not about how much money we can make and things. And I think that's this one game I think people are blowing up, X Defiant. I think, but they still got that battle pass stuff, and it is being done by Ubisoft. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that game out when it does come out. But anyways, yeah, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode, and peace.